through this.
Imagine taking a 911 call, and while you're focusing on the caller and protocol, the system is quietly monitoring you. From AI voice sentiment analysis to wearable tech tracking your stress, wellness monitoring is moving from theory to reality. And it could be the next big leap in wellness awareness in next generation 911. That's coming up next on TiPS, Today in Public Safety.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety. This is Fletch. I'm a NEMA certified ENP, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I bring you the latest, most informative, and sometimes a bit controversial takes on emergency communications and next generation 911. Today we'll explore how call taker wearable tech, along with AI-driven sentiment analysis, may start to transform dispatcher wellness, improve performance, and hopefully even lengthen careers in 911, all while making them healthier. Let's start with AI and sentiment analysis. We've already seen systems that monitor the caller's voice patterns during that 911 call. They measure tone, pitch, and pacing, generating a heat map of caller's sentiment. This information enables the call taker to see in real time whether the person on the other end is calm, escalating, or spiraling into a panic, and then make adjustments in their approach and questioning. Now, in addition to that functionality, let's flip the script, because that same AI can also measure the call taker's sentiment as well. Stress, fatigue, or emotional burnout can easily creep in unnoticed. But an AI-powered dashboard could give that call taker, as well as their supervisor, a clearer view into how their team is doing, either across the shift or after a particularly rough call before it turns into a wellness issue. For employees, this is where wearable IoT tech can come into play for a better, more realistic view. Picture something like a dispatcher's vest, or even a wristband quietly tracking heart rate, breathing patterns, and other physical stress indicators, in addition to the standard audio cues. There'd be nothing extra for the dispatcher to mess with, as it's pretty much a set-it-and-forget-it environment. But on the back end, supervisors get real-time dashboards of their entire center's wellness, without PII or individual identifiers attached to any of the data unless it was critical and within accepted policies. What's the benefit? Early intervention. Supervisors get an indicator when it's time to rotate someone out after a tough call. Trend tracking. By watching sentiment scores shift, changes can be made to prevent burnout before it snowballs. And data scrubbed of PII information can provide agency insight. And if certified for DHS approval, that could help secure NG911 funding, as it ties directly to employee wellness initiatives. Think of it like a fitness tracker for dispatchers, but instead of steps or calories, it's monitoring mental and emotional wellness and doing that in real time. Now, of course, this raises questions all over the place. Privacy, consent, and how to avoid that big brother syndrome in the comm center. But with DHS already approving models that scrub personal data and NG911 funding gaining more momentum, the timing couldn't be better to start to explore this new frontier. Look, at the end of the day, the goal isn't to manage or micromanage call takers. It's to protect them, to make sure the people who listen to everyone else's worst day aren't quietly drowning in the stress of their own. Wearable tech for dispatcher wellness isn't sci-fi anymore. It's closer than you think, and it might just be the one tool that helps keep the best and brightest employed in 911 longer, delivering healthier and more enjoyable careers. That wraps up today's episode of TiPS, Today in Public Safety. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you learned something new, and if you did, please remember to like and subscribe. For more updates and insights, remember to follow me on most social media platforms at Fletch911, and you can go to 911tips.com, where you'll find a complete archive of all of our previous episodes. Remember to leave a comment on what you did or didn't like, or if you have a topic request for a future episode. Remember to stay safe. Thanks so much for listening. And if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every single day. I'll see you next time. Take care.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on 911tips.com. That's 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG 911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10 spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good.